I got the horse right here.
Hello racing fans and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, the June the 19th races at Hastings Racecourse. We do have 8 live races on tap starting at 1:50 and it should be a great day.
Another very tough card they've put together today.
I know, it's difficult.
Have to keep an eye on the Sea to Sky Pick 6. It is a carryover right now. Have to see what happens on Saturday because if it is a carryover into Sunday, it will be big, and it will be a tough one to hit. So this is the kind of day where you can get it. And as Mike mentioned, 8 races on tap. First post, 150. And first race is an $8,000 claimant event for older colts and geldings. Non-winners of 3 lifetime, going 6.5 furlongs. I landed on the 3 here, Tucci, the Barb Heads Barn. Hadn't ran since October of 2014, so he missed a year. I'd been running good in the Bay up until that point. And then the one race out here, the same races he's in today, and I thought a very good effort. Ran a good third. Obviously, he needed the race. They take the blinkers off today. Dennis Arrojo sticks with him. I like Tucci in here. I think he's going to take a big step forward off the big layoff. Now he's got a race under his belt. He's my top pick. I put Born at the Track, a horse coming up from Golden Gate for owner-trainer Peter Milburn. Just won a 62.50 non-2 at Golden Gate, and that means he should fit pretty well in here. Leading rider Richard Hamlin takes the call, and I put Shuswap, just won a very similar race by a couple lengths on the head end here for trainer Rob Gilker. Antonio Reyes rides today. I went 3, 6, and 5.
Yeah, I agree with the top 3. I can see Tucci winning, I can see Shuswap winning, and I can see Born to the Track winning. I mean, those are the 3 horses. Whoever gets a little bit better trip will likely win the money. I went Born to the Track. The 6 horse, I just see a little bit of pace on in here, and it might help his kind of off-the-pace running style, but he still has to adapt to a new racetrack and new surrounding. He hasn't had to work over the course, which is a little bit of a drawback when you're taking 2-1 or 5-2 on a horse, which maybe is what he'll be. But I put Shuswap in for second. He won this condition, lost it due to a slight medication violation, and this horse will be dangerous again. And I put the 3 Tucci, as you mentioned, off a year and a half. That's a long time to be off. Connections choose to go without blinkers, and it was a decent third last time. But might be better going longer, we'll see. But I went 6, 5, and 3 in race number 1. On to the second race, $4,000 fillies and mares going 1 mile and a 16th. The 3-horse Maury's Glory is always dangerous at this level and at this distance. She's speed. I thought she ran a pretty good race going 6.5, considering she's not a sprinter. Had to go wide and didn't have the best of trips, but still she's come back to work beautifully. I like Maury's Glory to defeat the 2 Medaya and the 6 Cute Little Vixen. I think those are your 3 horses. Medaya's doesn't win often, but still is a horse that likes the distance, and Dennis Arrojo riding very well. And the 6 Cute Little Vixen, another one better going longer. Actually, he's run against. I've been unfortunate to run into pretty reckless, a flare miss, and then next time out against some pretty tough horses as well. But she's a better route horse, and I just think she'll be a little better too. I went 3, 2, and 6.
I had the same top 2. I did put Medea on top. As you mentioned, she's never actually won at this distance, but in the same breath, she's never been out of the money. 8 starts, 5 seconds, 3 thirds. So she fits in here, and she seems to be rounding into form a little bit earlier than she did last year. I put her on top of Maury's Glory. Those are the 2 I think are the tough ones in here. Maury's Glory, as Mike mentioned, always much tougher going long. And after those 2, I threw in Haida Gwaii. She does have 3 wins at the distance. Was she 10 for 16 going long, lifetime for trainer Mike Anderson? I went 2, 3, and 5 in the second. On the third, maiden special weight for 3-year-olds and up. Field of 8 here. I landed on the 6, Good As They Get. He's been right there multiple times. He already won one of these, but was disqualified. Most recently, another medication violation. Most recently, he only got beat a length and 3/4 behind Stanza Command and Silvertown in that stake, and he was kind of trapped. He didn't have a lot of racing room. I think he's absolutely the horse to beat in here. I put him on top of My Majesty, who is lone race here this year. He did run 7th, but that was back on the 24th of April. He's got some very nice works coming into it. Troy Taylor's barn. These horses seem to be running much better right now, so I put him in the second spot. And I put a first-time starter, Sergeant Rick. John Snow's having a very good year. Dennis Arrojo having a good year as well. And he's a Rosberg out of a pretty nice little filly in Juvie Hall. So I put him in the third spot. I went 6, 5, and 4.
I agree with the 6, Good As They Get. I mean, this horse has to win today unless one of the firsters jumps up and runs huge. Good As They Get did win this condition and obviously lost the purse money, but came back and gave a great account of himself against way tougher company and was actually in quite a bit of trouble in the River Rock Casino race. So this horse looks like it's going to get a gift here. I put the 3 Always Sunny and the 8 Great Promise in behind the 2 Barb Heads runners. Both are well connected. Always Sunny is a full to Brass and Gold, who's a stakes winner. Great Promise is Touching Promise. There's a lot of stakes pedigree in these two. They've taken a little while to get to the races, but do have some decent works, and Connections can have one ready to run early. But good as they get, really looks almost unstoppable in here.
Yeah.
I went 6, 3, and 8 in race number 3. On to the 4th race, I got some maiden $4,000 fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on Dimitri Tapuzzi's Supernova Sally. Nice runner-up effort last time to a Fleet Alice who was well meant that day and is pretty competitive in the non-2 levels. So you like to see that when you're looking at horses that lose to a horse. You like to see how they come back and run. And at least he's been Fleet Alice has been in play. But Supernova Sally over the 9 Stormy Days, who's had a great series of works for Craig McPherson. Just the one run last year, going 3.5. Barely got beat, but the work has been excellent for Stormy Days. And I put the 4-horse Cash Spiel, a firster from the first foal out of Montero, who won over $200,000 on the track. Nice race mare. And she's had some little hiccups in her workouts, but she will debut in the Lasix program. Not a tough spot to debut, though. I went 3, 9, and 4 in race number 4.
I'm pretty close. I agree. Supernova Sally looks like the tough one here. She should be the controlling speed. Just got caught by Fleet Alice last time. I got her on top of Stormy Days. Same horse you have in second. Out of a very live buyer, Craig McPherson. Got beat by a pretty decent filly in Oma. Her first out last year, so she's got a license and been working well. And I put Blues Be Gone in the 3rd spot for trainer John Snow. Had a good 38 buyer, only got beat a length and a half for maiden 4. Then went long, and that's the day that Mini Fridge looked like Secretariat. Beat him by about 12. Now she goes back sprinting, so I threw her in the mix. I went 3, 9, and 8 in the 4th. On to the 5th. Good race here. This is a tough one. Optional 25 for older horses, going a mile and a 16th.
This is a good race.
Field of 10.
Dirty tough race.
It's a tough race. Yeah, you can make a case for a lot of these guys in here. I landed on Burnham for trainer Mike Anderson. Perfect 2 for 2 so far at Hastings this year. He was claimed by Mike for $8,000 down at Turf Paradise and been rolling here so far. Those were sprints. Now he goes long, but if you look back, his last 2 distance races, we're going a mile on the turf at Turf Paradise in 2 good seconds. You got a 74 and a 77 buyer for that. So you look at his stats, and he never actually ran the distance, but he's running a mile, so that doesn't scare me. I put El Capone in the 2nd spot.
Wow, you're on the outside.
Yeah, I'm way outside. I just think he's a pretty cool old horse, and he gets good when they run long, too. He's 5 for 7 in the money going long, so don't count him out. John Snow had a very good year. And I put John's other horse, Wilo Cat, in the 3rd spot. He's been dying to go long. He stakes place going long last year. This is a good spot for him. Silvino Morales rides for John Snow. I went 9, 10, and 5.
I went to the 1 in here, Slice of Red. I think this horse is in a much better spot, dropping in class. That's a big drop from those tough 35 optionals, Shooting Jacket. Those are Uncle Willard.
Crackdown,
those are like eons better than these horses. And Slice of Red is in a better spot. Richard Hamill jumps aboard. I got to like Slice of Red in here. The distance is perfect. This horse likes to go long. The rail's a bit of a concern. Hopefully he can get out of there and get into some sort of position, but I like Slice of Red. To defeat the 5 Wilo Cat, I agree with him. He's a horse that has 2 decent sprints, but he's a road horse.
Yeah.
He's never been expected to win sprinting, and he's a better horse going along, and he will be. I put the 8-horse Berard Breeze in for 3rd. I love the way this horse ran against Twist Grips last time.
Yeah,
this horse was fighting on the head end the whole way. Yeah. Twist Grips got through on the rail, got a perfect ride by Silvino Morales, and just weaved his way through the field. Never went around a horse and nailed poor Berard Breeze, who had fended off about 5 horses on the head end and at different points of the race, and just got guzzed right on the wire, which is a little unfortunate. But this horse can route. And, I don't mind this horse. I don't want to leave him out. I went 1, 5, and 8, but I can see I left Burnham out, who's on a roll, unproven at the distance, but still a horse that is going well.
Calgary-
El Capone's a neat horse.
Calgary Caper's a nice horse. He
Yeah.
just got beat in neck by It's Finally Friday.
Distance ability is in question, but I don't see a ton of speed in here. Broad Breeze can get the lead. Slice of Red can lay second, and Brother Duster has some speed as well. But so does Mighty Fraser. But it's a good race. It's as you mentioned off the top,
That's a
great
tough
card,
one, yeah.
tough races. I went 1, 5, and 8 in race number 5. Onto the 6th race, $25,000 optional claimer for 3-year-olds here, going 6.5 furlongs. And I love the 6th Colterberry. I liked what I saw of him first time out. He won with authority. I know it was just maiden 25, but this horse won with a bow in his neck. Then he ran against Stakes Company, got hung real deep on the first turn. I thought he fought on courageously to finish where he did. He gets in against a lot easier company. There's not a ton of speed in here. Colterberry gets the lead, wins the race. That's what I think. I put the 1 Dashing Dawn and the 4 Lord de Vancouver in behind him, but I really like Colterberry. This is a pretty live horse, I think.
I agree, but I put him in the 6th spot. I put Sunscape on top. I thought a very good effort in his first start. Only gets beat a half length by BC Charlie, who came back to run really well off of that optional 25. So Robbie Anderson's having a good year. Richard Hamill takes the call. He should be sitting just off Colterberry. I went with Sunscape on top of Colterberry. I agree. Colterberry looks very tough in here. I like him a lot too. And I put Ebony Warrior in the 3rd spot. His 2 races this year have been terrible, but he's been working a lot better since then. Troy Taylor's horses are starting to turn around. He could start to win some races. And a well-bred horse that beat some nice horses like Fear the Cat and Theo Declare has only started as a 2-year-old. So just toss out those 2 races this year. Look at the works. He looks like he's maybe turned a corner. I went 8, 6, and 5 in the 6th. On to the 7th. Optional 50, 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5 furlongs. Another race where you can make a case for about everybody in here. I went with Crackdown. He's just having a really good year. Won an optional 35, and then most recently he's just sat behind Modern and kind of watched him roll around there and wouldn't let anybody past him. Beat a nice horse in Sabado Alegre, and a good second for him in the stake. This is a softer spot for him. He's going to be the speed. He's got the rail. You got to catch him to get in the winner's circle. I put Bluegrass Angus. Very nice horse, our top 3-year-old here last year. Just got beat a neck in the Derby behind an incredibly nice filly in Academic. But it's his first start, so I give the nod to Crackdown, but Bluegrass Angus would not surprise me if he just runs away from this field because he's got the talent. I put Gold Treasure, a newcomer who's been running down at Santa Anita. Well-bred Son of Warriors reward for Jeff Singera. Comes out of the Jory Hollendorfer barn, and it has to be respected in here. Those optional 40s and that he's running at in Southern California, they're not soft races. So he could make some noise in here. I got him in the 3rd spot, but Mysterious Soul, Twist Grips is on a roll. He's won 2 in a row. Cedarburg's training well. Sadine's got talent. The odds are good. This is a tough race, and I had some trouble with it, but I did go 1, 2, 4.
Well, definitely the best horse in the race is the 2 Bluegrass Angus. I don't think anyone can dispute that. Bluegrass Angus chooses to run his A race. He wins the money. And I'm going to go to him to win it. His work tab's been, he's obviously got off to a late start this year. He's trying to play catch up, got a nice allowance sprint. He can join the stakes company later down the road going along. But he's a cool horse. He is facing older for the first time. He's a 3-year-old, so it's a little risky. But I know he's going to be a short price, which is the bad part. I mean, I'm not disputing his ability, but just as a handicapper, you have to assess value and do I want to take 6 to 5 on Bluegrass Angus in his first start against older horses when there's Crackdown? He's got other, so the odds are good. Cedarburg, there's going to be speed around him. He's going to not have a fun time of it, I don't think, on the head end, but maybe it will be a fun time, and maybe he'll win by 5 lengths and look great. But Bluegrass Angus is the best horse in the race, and I just think he'll be tough. I put the 1 Crackdown. How can you fault this guy? He won for 62.50 option or waiver claiming, and went up to win an allowance race, and then proved that wasn't a fluke by running second to Modern in the Longdon. So this horse is obviously a crack, solid sprinter, and Crackdown is pretty nice. I put the 5 Mysterious Soul, not his best distance, but it's still a classier horse than a lot of these. He's just a better horse, but still maybe he can overcome it, even not being his best. He needs to run long, but he's been off so long. His work tab's been pretty good. I went 2, 1, and 5 in race number 7. The 8th and final, $4,000 claimers, non-2 lifetime, going a mile and a 16th. I went to the 2, 1 Big Promise. I thought a pretty good sprint run last time against Mr. Candy and Whaley's Command. You know, it wasn't the toughest of dashes, but still, he's not the greatest sprinter. He's a better route horse. Antonio Reyes sticks with him. I put him on top over the 1, Lead the Pack, who drops in class from 8,000 down to the 4. This will definitely suit him better. He'll be dangerous. And I put the 7, Harbor the Energy. Mike Anderson runner gets Jeff Birmingham, loses his rider, but still Harbor the Energy. A little class drop here and new distance, maybe definitely by Harbor the Gold shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But I went 2, 1, and 7. But once again, a tough little race to close it out.
Yeah, I went with Harbor the Energy. I thought that was a tough race he landed in last time, and I like the fact that he goes long. As you mentioned, he's a Harbor the Gold. He's out of a mud route mare. He's bred for distance. Mike Anderson runners generally, when they stretch out, going from a sprint to route, he's very tough. So I put Harbor the Energy, a young horse with some upside, on top of War On, who ran a much improved race when he went long for the first time this year last time, ended up winning by 3, and he comes back again going long for Tracy McNeil. And I put One Big Promise in the 3rd spot, making his first start going long this year, but another one is much tougher when he goes long. So I went with horses that are bred and do run long in here. I went 7, 6, 2. In the final, that'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday card. Up next on screen will be our picks. Mike, as always, you're up first.
Back in race number 1, I went to the 6. Born at the Track, 6-5-3 for me in the Sunday opener. Race number 2, I went to the 3, Maury's Glory over the 2, Medalla, and the 6, Cute Little Vixen. Race number 3, probably the best bet of the day. The 6, Good As They Get, 6-3-8 for me in the 3rd. Race number 4, the 3, Supernova Sally. Kind of a tough maiden $4,000, but still I went 3, 9, and 4. Started the late pick 4. I went in race number 5. I went to the 1, Slicer Bread. I like him a lot. I think if he can get out of the gate, he's going to be dangerous for Richard Hamill. 1, 5, and 8 in race number 5. Race number 6, the 6, Colterbury, another one really taking the shining too. I think he's much the best. 6, 1, and 8. 6, 1, 4, pardon me. Race number 7, went to the 2, Bluegrass Angus over the 1, Crackdown, and the 5, Mysterious Soul. And race number 8, the 2, One Big Promise, 2-1-7 for me in race number 8.
And on to my picks. In the 1st, I went with the 3, Tucci over the 6 and the 5. In the 2nd, I went to Medalla over the 3 and the 5. In the 3rd, I agree with Mike. This is my best bet of the day. Number 6, Good As They Get over the 5 and the 4. In the 4th, number 3, Supernova Sally over the 9 and the 8. In the 5th, I went with Burnham, number 9 over the 10 and the 5. In the 6th, I went to the 8, Sunscape over the 6 and the 5. In the 7th and feature, I went to the 1, Crackdown over the 2, Bluegrass Angus, and the 4, Gold Treasure. And then I went to the 7, Harbor the Energy over the 6 and the 2.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the Sunday, June the 19th edition of Handicappers Corner. Good little card, lots of interesting races. No reals. Well, other than Good As They Get, there's no real standouts on the card.
Yeah, he's like I say, probably your best
he
bet.
really looks good on paper. Like as I mentioned, one of the first years really have to jump up and run good because any horse that started can't be good as they get. So it should be an interesting day of racing. As Drew mentioned off the top, keep an eye on the Sea to Sky Pick 6. Could be getting up there pretty nicely. Could be near the $20,000 mark by Sunday. So definitely a worthy investment if you're looking to spend little money to make a lot of money, and that's always what we want to do. Well, once again, thanks everyone for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next week when we do race again on Saturday and Sunday. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Barn Grill.